Okay, so I'm Josef. I come from Czech internet search company Seznam, and I will present today a paper called CWRCzech, which is large click user behavior dataset. So the main contribution of the paper is the large click dataset. It contains information like dwell times, clicks, and positions of the documents in the search engine page. Then also a smaller dataset that was annotated by experts, and it contains 50,000 query document pairs. And finally, we also do some evaluation of the dataset with language models. So to show you how the search engine looks like, it's basic stuff. You just type your query and you get a result page with the documents. Seznam is one of the more popular search engines in Czech, and the dog here is our mascot. It will show up later on. So I think I skipped something. No. Okay. So why did we publish this dataset? The existing datasets usually are either smaller or they don't contain all the relevant information. For example, there's an English dataset ORCAS which contains clicks and also the text of documents and queries. But it doesn't contain dwell times or positions. Then there are also some bigger datasets, but they don't contain the texts of queries and documents, which is pretty important for our use case of training language models. And we focus on information-seeking queries, which means queries that ask how is something done, or what are the symptoms of some diseases, or who was the first president of the United States. And we also do some query anonymization, so we only choose queries that were asked by at least 5 different users. And we also include only queries that didn't contain any symbols or numerical characters to avoid some sensitive information like addresses or phone numbers, etc. This is a sample what you can find in the dataset, although in Czech language. You get the query, you get the documents that were displayed on the engine page. Each document has a title, it has a small snippet of the text, and also the URL, there's position of the document, the number of the clicks done by the user, and the dwell time in seconds, so how much time he spent there. It's not always available because we need the user to return back to the page, to our result page to gather the information. So if the user does not return, we get a missing value. We also, as I said, publish a smaller dataset, which does not contain user behavior data. It contains only annotations by a human, and each document here has either at least 2 annotations or 3 if the 2 annotations did not match, and the final label is the median of the 3. It depends on how many have there been done. And so now, how do we actually use this dataset? We do simple dense retrieval, so we embed the query and the document with language model into some vector space, and then we try to find the closest documents and display it to the user, or measure the performance on our test set. And this is how the performance looks like. So if we use basic, small or even big or base language model like BERT, and we try to use our training data from the user behavior data that is in this paper, and we compare it to existing data set that contains only annotations made by humans. You can see that on the graph on the left that The blue line shows how the model improves with the available data we put into the training. So if you have small number of data, like around 1 million, you get lower performance than what would you get if you train on human annotations. But once you get into higher numbers, like million, 100 million, you significantly outperform it. And you can see there's a little trend that each order of data gives you around 2 NDCG on our test that we published and I presented here. So how do we train it? We basically use like pseudo labels that should work like human annotations. We use the positions, clicks, and go times. We combine it into some final label. We do some weighting of the clicks based on the positions. We aggregate it, we aggregate duplicate query document pairs. And this is basically, this is the basic setup. However, we also use some other techniques that I don't have really time here to mention. So if you want to know a little bit more about it, you can visit our poster. So to sum it up, if like user behavior data is a great source of data, if you have access to it, definitely use it. It works really well. It's super cheap to gather, but if you don't have access to it, you don't work in some company that has this, we publish this data set for you to try it out yourself.